Okay. So we are continues on Book of Katam. Today we're going to begin with from chapter 15. So, but I'll just briefly remind you, or I will just read the root line from chapter 14. So the chapter 14, the main point is says, since you take no pleasure in negative deeds, when a thought of self-importance arises, at that instant defile your pride and recall your teacher's instructions. When discouraged thought arises, uplift your mind and meditate on the emptiness of both. So the final line, it says meditate on emptiness both. So it's more talking about that the main cause of suffering here, the self-ego, or sometimes we call ignorance. This is the main cause of suffering, and for antidote for that. So the best antidote we talked like emptiness. So it's continuing talking about emptiness on chapter 15. So again, let me read the root line from chapter 15. When object of attractions or aversions appear, view them as illusions or apparitions. When you hear unpleasant word, view them as a mere echoes, right? Echoes. Yeah. When injuries inflict your body or harms inflict your body, see them as the fruit of past deeds. Kind of like talking about 3 points. So, and then the chapter name he called How to Train the Mind Within the Expense of Appearance, Emptiness, and Empty Egos. So appearance means things that sometimes is a conventional truth, right? The conventional truth, whatever we see, hears, touching things are, we call it appearance, or sometimes we call it dependent originations, right? And sometimes we call it a conventional truth. So that's how we see things going on our daily life. But the reality of those all things are whatever appear to us, whatever we utilize, or whatever we having contact in our daily life, everything is conventional truth, but the reality of those things are not independently existence, because those are dependent origination. That's for saying it appears, whatever appears to us, reality of things are emptiness. That's the meaning of say appearance and emptiness, talking about combination of two, appearance, but the reality is emptiness. Means reality are not self arises, right? Everything is not just comes from their own, because everything arises depend on something. Everything, every single things. Yes, where this arises or a functioning or happening, all this depend on something else, depend on other than it, right? So one things cannot be functioned by itself or self. It cannot be by self. Always need to be depend on something for functioning. Everything's. For example, 4 elements, fire, which is most useful in our daily life. That the fire, winds, then the water. All those elements are actually looks like it functioned by own self, but we did not see that how much this are depend on others, or how much is collected of many pieces or many conditioning, right? So we do not see that. Therefore, everything we see as just comes on by on. While we're seeing this, everything comes by on. That much we see everything as a solid. How much we see solid, that brings us to have like all these negative emotions, anger, attachment. As we see this solid, therefore we're having attachment. We do not see as a fact. We do not see as like a collection of many pieces or many conditions. We do not see is that all this all depend on others. So therefore, the problem that arises because that then we're having a strong attach. Therefore, it brings us also have angers, right? Yeah, this is what is real meanings, a combination of appearance and emptiness. So for it's a empty echoes. Empty echoes means here talking about the meaningless, essenceless, right? So it's not really saying that those things are no essence. As we see the essence for is not reality. So those things actually the reality is that depend on others. The reality or is not comes by their own. Therefore, as we see everything is solid, it's not solid. That's the essenceless regarding here. That's the meaning here, empty echoes, right? So therefore, if we see everything's combination of appearance and emptiness, then we'll understand it's empty echoes. So this is the chapter talking here. And then also this chapter as in root line talking about 3 points. So also the another 3 points are saying once we understand that everything is illusions, then it will help us to reduce the aversion and attachments. And the second point is even like individually we have sometime like the illness or unhappy. So at the time, what we need to do is like do practice of giving and taking. That's the second point here talking. And then third point, I think it's more for Buddhists. Always keep faith or trust on karma, and based on that, every activities or based on that in our daily life, what things should be abandoned, we shouldn't be engaged, and what things do need to be practiced, we should engage it. So those things, 3 points here talking, right? So regarding that, now first point is, let me read this is the root text, and then let me read the commentary here, right? So commentary, we call the dialogues between Atisha and Dromtemba. Sometimes we call the commentary name is the further Dharma, so further's instructions. Okay. So again in the Calster's celestial. So thank you. Celestial mention of such as a sublime teacher, Dromtemba, our teacher, the perfect spiritual friend of all, ask the following questions for the benefit for future sentient beings whose intelligence in what is small. Yeah, whose intelligence is small, then it will lead everyone to their downfall. What should one of the attachment and aversions arise, master? So more attention that how Adisha's answering, right?
So it starts at master, what is the greatest fault of a practitioner? Did you want to skip that or?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, sorry. So, masters, what is the greatest fault for practitioners? Those afflictions of attachment and aversion seems to be the greatest. But if you are very familiar with the Buddhists, and then this is not new idea for you, if you're not really familiar with the Buddhist, then it's totally new idea for you, because the greatest fault, and then as saying afflictions, attachment, aversions are greatest fault. Fault regarding means like which things cause us a lot of suffering in our daily life. That's the fall means, right? The fall means more negative. That negative goes with suffering, right? Which things causing us suffering and suffering itself are more faulty. Therefore, the fall regarding there. So therefore, it says that the which cause to us have suffering is like a reflection of attachment and aversion seems to be the greatest. And even those are not the root cause. So again, Atisha asking, Master, what is the root of the attachment and aversions? It is things desired by the monks of the monasteries. What does that mean? Do I not also have this master? So I think it talks about the things desire, right? The desire is the big things to bring in our suffering in this life in desire realm, but still it is not rooted. So here the desire by the monks of monasteries means talking about that, why they bringing example here to monks of monastery. So because the monks are which we are which we the daily persons are which we are relying, right? Or the monks that we get instruction from it or we learn from them. So even they do have this kind of the root of the suffering, then of course why we not? That's I think why we bringing this example monks are here, right? And the cause is talking next line. This can be discerned from the basis and from the strength of the self-grasping. This is the main rooted, right? Self-grasping. So it's continuously talking about the self-grasping is the root. Self-grasping is the root, right? So which ignorance. And then that ignorance also, which is like a self-ego. That's so far I'm saying here, self-ego is the self-grasping. That thinking everything's okay. So as you know that self-ego and self-centeredness, two different things. Everything me and I, or important of I and me is self-centeredness. That self-centeredness comes from that I is like a solidly there, forever there. That's the thought is self-ego, right? That brings our ego. That also causes us to have those self-centeredness and so on. So this self-grasping can easily arise, Master. So, yes. Then it will be lead everyone to their downfall. What should one do if attachment and aversions arise, Master? And then, okay, the main points again talking here, self-grasping is the root, which is let us arises all this negative emotion that let us take the action, negative actions. So then really we have to apply antidote for self-grasping instead of temporarily thinking antidote for anger and aversions, right? So we do have some kind of antidote and what called? Yeah, we do have some kind of antidote for that. But if you really try to reduce the rooted one, that will be the you don't need to be a lot of effort to reduce the one by one, all these negative emotions. Once you are reducing self-grasping, they're all will reduce it, even we are not uh, um, intently or not separately, individually applying antidote for each negative emotion. But in generally, we are applying antidote for the rooted one. They will reduce everything. So that's work hard, right? But this is the how meaning is here. And then the final, the actually what antidote is talking about the emptiness. That emptiness is depend on how to see you everything in illusions. So that's here's the drum. It is the portrayals of diverse things I thought being unreal. What is the nature of the base material of their illusion itself? Drum. It is grasped as a sign thought being unreal. Okay. We are grasping that things are unreal as thinking as real. So basically the appear whatever appear to us, it's not exactly uh, as a real. But whatever real, we not sees that is not appear to us, right? Whatever appear is not real. Whatever real is not appear to us. So that's the how um, to we are circling within suffering and causes of suffering, right? So and it's important to see that um, whatever appears is to see the reality which is not appear to us. It's really depend on study and knowing or examining, right? And also it's depend on see as the illusions. So therefore, saying the illusion, everything seeing illusion is that health. Then seeing illusion means whatever appear is not real. That is the illusion, right? And because the magicians, they created something for us, but actually it's not real. But what we see is as a real, but it's not real. This is the how diluted or illusions meaning here. It's not matching that what we see is and what reality is. So that's just the uh, illusions meaning here. Okay. So then regarding knowing emptiness, then Dromten asks, please tell me an example of an illusions. And it has a few quite long um, verses there. But instead of reading one by one, I just briefly telling you what the story the Atisha told to the Domtempa, how life is like illusions, right? So Atisha says, once upon a time, there the two like a like Shiriman, one the guy family which has a family, wife and childrens, and his friend Chandrabhadra is also there. And one time, that one mornings, the Shrimans or their wife having breakfast, and then and after breakfast, the wife went to the cleaning those dishes things, and then the Shriman himself like spinning the yarn, what called?
Spinning the yarn.
Yeah,
Spinning yarn.
spinning yarn, yeah. At that moment, um, uh, there comes like his friend Chandrabhadra comes, right? Came and then Chandrabhadra asked him to. Okay, before that, Chandrabhadra asked to Shriman to learn some magician. Chandrabhadra is a great magician at that moment. He also, I think it's the Buddha time. The earlier magician is not really exactly tricking, right? Right now, most of us understand magician means kind of like tricking, but that are some kind of use the different substance for diluted us to see something different, right? So it's not really tricking, not necessarily trick. Whatever, they're great magician there. So he encouraged to his friend to learn magicians, and then his friend said, "Oh, what we should do with the magicians? Better to I have one horse, you know." So that's how conversation talks. And then next day, while they're having breakfast, just finished the breakfast, and he's spilling the yarn, and then his wife is like cleaning dishes, and then he brings one horse with him, that Chandapatra, and then sorry. So then Chandrapatra said, "Okay, buy this horse." Then he said, "I do not have money for buying these things." And then you don't need to pay the lot of money. You can just give me that the strength which is pleading, right? Making like some kind of
Yarn.
the wool, what they?
Yarn.
Yarn, yeah. So you can give me that. Then he thought, okay, then easy. So, and then Chandrabhadra said, okay, first you test the horse, how it goes. And he ride on the horse, and same time the horse runs. And then takes so far, right? And then it's becoming dark, and he's in the kind of like middle in the jungle. No one's there. And then so he keeps finding some where he can rely. And then finally he found the one house. Smoke comes in very far from far. Smoke comes, and then he go this directions, and then he found the one house and knocked the door, and then he come in. The one old lady is there with three daughters. Then the old ladies ask him, how come he get you here? This place is very isolated place. It's kind of like islands or isolated place. No one here. So how you get here? So then he tell the story about the horse, and then he said, anyhow, you cannot return to your house. It's so far, and better live with us, stay with us, and you can be married with one of my daughters. And then he no choice, he accepted, and he just staying there with the. It's just talking about our life story, okay?
Yeah.
So then um, like many years now after he's just get married with one of his daughters, and then like they got three babies, two boys and one daughter, and then many years later, then one day his wife went to the picking up the woods in forest, and then he's looking after the three children's and near the rivers and waiting for the wife. And then the elder children sees the moon reflected on the rivers, and then try to go there to catch it up. And then he's worried, and he get it up to catch his son, which is getting near to river, but he couldn't get it. And then while he is picking up going to take his boy, another boy comes after him, and then he cannot catch up. The boy fell on the rivers and river takes his boys, and then he when he look it back, and his another boy is close to him, and he's also jumped in river. The both boys are takes. This is and after that, so his daughter very small. They're just there, and then while he taking care of these two boys, which is took by the river, and then the tigers comes and eat his daughters. and then very sad at the moment because same time lost his all these three boys. Three children, right? So, and then finally wife came and then asked all this question, and then he tell every things, and then his wife very sad and just suicide and jumped in river. He lost everything, and then very heavily sad and worrying, right? Then he said, what should I do now? I'm just go give up my life or survive. What should do? And then once he touch his hair is turning into the white, and then that's feel him that get very old. Then so then he keep thinking and walking. Finally, he reached to his original home. And then his the first wife, right, is like a singing, and then in the kitchens. Then he got really upset. That long time, many years. I lost many years separated from the wife, but wife is not really worried and sad. She's still singing. Good morning. So she's still singing there. So then he went there and kind of yelling to her, and then she got surprised. What you talking about it? So why you not so worried about me that I lost that much long time, the 12 month, many years, So you're still singing. It's not really makes sense for me. Then why you are so happy? Now why not worry? Then the wife continues having surprise, think that he got some illness or some kind of mental illness or crazy about it. So, and then wife finally said, what are you talking? You are there in the same place. You not moved it. Look at here, we finished the breakfast and then everything's just there remaining. He saw that, but still can't believe because that long year, for many years, right? And then she kept telling him, look at here, my dishes are not complete yet. I'm still washing those things, cleaning those things, and then the all the breakfast is there. Then go and then look at the or where you are spilling the yarn, right? Still there. He saw that, and then he overcome by doubt, saying, "Oh yeah, something happening with me now." So, and then after that, like his friend Chandraprasad come back a few days later, and then telling him what happening. So he told all this truth. So this is our life now, saying everything happening in our life, up and down, suffering, all these things. Actually, it's just dream. For him as dream, right? Everything is dream because it's a very short moment. He just sees those all things. You have a baby and all this die and wife dies, many years. All this is illusion, right? Is deluded us. But if we say it's really happening in our life as a dream, of course it's difficult to accept it. So the pointing here is instead of like an illusion, we can take it as like our dream. All this emotioning happening with us, with many cause and condition, and those cause and condition is not truly existence. What brings us many suffering or happiness, right? So, and then even the experiencing happy and suffering itself is not really truly existence. It's not really self arises. All those are happening because it's collected of many pieces, condition it, all also is depend on others. It's not truly there. But all the emotions go up and down happening it. Same as like in dream. Whatever we dream, it like a scareful or like a happier. So same time, all this emotion functioning at the dreams. But the reality is not really happy at that time, how he sees in dream, or not really fearful at the time, how he sees in dream. It's not actual there. It's not real there, right? But it's appear to us see that that's how brings us suffering or happy. Okay, so we can discussion on it. Maybe instead of just talk, maybe you might be not get this or difficult to accept it, right? So this is the what we need to understand. All the reality is not the truly existence. That's the meaning here. Okay, what do you think?
I think it's not difficult to understand, to have a glimpse
Uh-huh.
of this.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see that what you see is not what I see.
Mm-hmm. That could be one point, yeah. Yeah.
My question was, Mishla, if you see everything is a dream, then I think the natural question that arises is that how do you prevent indifference from arising?
Yeah. This is all questions comes, right? So the indifference, what's say?
Meaning not caring. Because otherwise everything's a dream, I don't care.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes we use the term saying in Tibetan say king ni tibatsam. King ni tibatsam means whatever we see is it's just collected of many things, but not solid things there. It's just collected of many things. There's a saying. Once you understand that's collected of many things, that's help us to we should care something because it's collected of something there. But when we look at there, what is real this? It's just many pieces comes, but we cannot point what it is, right? Once it comes together, then it's some kind of functioning it, right? All this condition or cause and conditions comes collected or come together is functioning it. But what is this really? What functioning it? We couldn't identify actual truly. We cannot identify truly what is it is, right? Or we would not found it. This is the between like a care it but not care that much as we see or how appear to us. So we should care it because it's just functioning with the collected of cause and condition. But you shouldn't care that much because it's not truly existence. That's kind of things. So so I know as we have comes on this subject, we have to talk. Otherwise, it's really complicated topic. And then if most of you familiar with all this selflessness and emptiness, right? So, but difficult to accept it like as like a dream because when we can touch we can touch this microphone. It's real, but it's not dream. But how you can prove it is dream, right? So because the simple way to say it's not real there as we see. What it means, like I said, we see is that microphone is there since many days ago, right? Many months ago. It's exactly there. We never thought, before the microphone comes, all the pieces there, not put it together yet, right? So we not call the microphone at the time, but all the pieces there. Once it's put it together, then we see it's solidly there. We see it comes from their own self. We do not see there are many pieces there which is collected together, right? So it makes you different, like actually. If you see that many pieces, like each pieces, even like a screw, small screw, those pieces, when it's like put all together there, we cannot identify what is this, but every things are there which we can call the microphones. But only we can call microphones when you put it together, right? Once you put together, then microphone. But when we call microphone, when you put together, we forget about that all the pieces collected. Do you follow me? Okay. So we're forgetting it's all the pieces collecting it. We do not think it just takes time to get one by one and put together. Then we label the microphone, right? So before there's nothing there, and suddenly comes. Once we see nothing there, but still many pieces there. All the microphones pieces are there. But we see just pieces are there, not really things there which we can use it, right? So that means nothing useful there. So when all the pieces put it together, now we think something useful there. So when we see something useful there, then we forget those which you labeling nothing useful there, putting together. Now it's becoming useful. What is really there now? Is a shape, color, or gathering together? What is that, right? So actually we cannot point it to what is really microphone, right? So that's the point we're saying, but not really there or not truly there. how we sees. Okay?
Yeah, that's difficult to understand. I understand everything up to the point where the microphone is there
Mhm.
and it has a function.
It has
Therefore,
function,
it
yes.
exists.
But
But it
before
doesn't
that,
exist.
before that,
Before that I can understand. After, it is still after the microphone I can see
Yes.
it and I can use, but it's empty space because of the atoms. Is all most of it is that if I could put my finger through, you know that.
yeah, right.
And yet, what is it that I see then?
Yeah. You said you cannot put your finger inside there. It's solid. That's thing. That's you
Yes,
saying.
because of magnetic forces.
Yeah.
Reality is all empty. It's mostly empty space.
Yes.
So I could, if it was not for the magnetic forces,
Yeah. Yeah.
I could stick my finger right through it. Can I say something?
Yeah,
I
sure.
was reading a book the Dalai Lama does that. His meditations. He creates a body that goes unobstructed through mind.
Okay. Possible we're saying it,
But
yeah.
the Dalai Lama, not this is still something.
Yeah. So when we think, we have to think from beginning to end. When if we only focus on this microphone, then we will not really see the reality of this microphone, right? So if we see this, all the pieces come together, and what is really the microphone, then that's the how help us to understand, right? Instead of if you only focus on that pieces, again, it's not helpful. And if you only focus on the microphone, which is put together, it's also not helpful to understand the reality. So the process, all this comes, then we need to finding out what's really the microphone we calling on. Those pieces, or putting together it, or this shape, or this color. So, and then the shape, when it's put together, then different shapes comes, right? Based on different color. So that maybe we might be different shape that we call microphone on different shape, just shape. That is that we might call the microphone because the pieces are not, right? And put all the pieces together is also not because before collected together, all pieces there, collecting there, right? Those are not. So now we might say, okay, shape is the microphone, but it is not, right? So, and the color is, of course, not the microphone. Color is not functioning. It as like a catching up the voice, and then shape is as well not, right? So, and then what we really calling the microphone. That's the, so beginning to end, all we need to focus and then we have to find it out, the basis that we can call microphone. So if so, then it kind of understand that not truly or not self. I'll use this self arises. The self arises, right? So we think it's self arises, that microphone arises from their own, comes from their own. That's how we see it actually. That's how we think it. The microphones comes from on, without any investigation. When you investigate, then you will see it's not comes from their own. Right? So that much we need to see it. It's not comes from on. So then you breaking your ignorance, thinking it comes from on or self arises. So that's break one, right? And then further, then if you still see something different way, then we have to break it by one, by the logic and understand or examining. First we should break that thinking itself arises. It comes from their own. Even the persons we see it comes from on, but in reality we knows all this from mother wombs to grow up. That's we knows actually. But still, we see this person comes from on. It's just there long time ago, right? We do not see, okay, nothingness or there nothing there, no basis then comes, right? Everything's there no basis and then make it, then it comes together actually, isn't it?
Mhm.
There are no basis in everything's. Can we say baseless? Okay, so it's baseless everything. So because even we begin from investigate the pieces of the microphone, right? You can go think more further that those pieces, how comes again collected many others and many others and many others, and then where you go way beginning, there actually nothing there. That's just no basis, is baseless, right? So the baseless then created something and then comes something and then collected something and put it together and finally the microphone comes. That microphone is baseless actually. The beginning is baseless and then finally comes. But it will again turn into the baseless. It goes like a nothingness. It will be becoming destroyed. Go back there, right? Some kind of air. So beginning from baseless and then again go back to the baseless at the final. And then middle of this, the beginning and end, the middle that we call microphone and solid. When it's broke, we are too angry or sad. Or when it's not worked and we angry, right? All this happening because we think is self arises. Is this clear? Any question you have it further that? Yeah.
Incredibly clear. Thank you very much.
I just was wondering, are you saying it's also our relationship to things?
Uh-huh.
How that's what I got before in what you were saying.
I see.
I could be totally off base on that one, but I'm just thinking.
Yeah, relativity,
it's
yeah.
How you look, like for me, what Buddhism has done for me in my life has made me not dwell on negative things, and also not to get exuberantly happy. On the other side, I'm trying to stay a little bit like that. But if I'm upset, like instead of being upset all day,
Yeah.
I've learned to be upset and then kind of compartmentalize some of those feelings. And it's my relationship to things. If I get upset or if I get angry, that's what I think that you're saying.
Yeah. So once we understand that part, the baseless, then something happening in our daily life, again, we can go back to think, what is the reality there? Not truly there. It's just temporarily comes here and there, or temporarily functioning it, but it's not exactly that how it appears to us. It's not exactly there how I think and how sees. It's just not truly, not true. That's, if you think that, it's really kind of like makes us calm. We have too much stress in our life, or disappointment, or so on and so on. When we go back to think that baseless, then we might say, oh, why I need to worry that much? Why I have to stress that much? Because it's just temporarily there, right? So, and similarly there, the children's, their toys looks like a real, the human, right? When the toys break, they will very feel sad and then cry a lot. But as adult, we see that, how we react. We are not that much worrying because we see this toy. It's fake. Therefore, we're not worrying it. But children is worrying too much. Children sees as real. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Children sees as real, but we do not see as real. This is how it makes different. Very much crying and not crying. Very much sad and not sad. But take this example right now, even we are adult, when we can see everything as like a children's. Something is not real, but we might see it's real. Right? So that's how makes us like a sad and worry and all these things. But we cannot blame children at that moment. So the foolish or stupid, we cannot say that because their mind capacity is that much. We should accept that, right? Their mind capacity that they see real, but we excuse them like because of children. There's children mind, right? Their thought. Yes, it's happening. So this is we excuse it in, right? So same, even adults have the same things in real life. Everything's like toys and dreams. So this is how we need to understand. If we understand, it does a lot of help. So, sometime, if you have something like a disappointment or stress in our life, go back to think emptiness will help. Sometimes that stress is heavily comes, then even it's not allow us to think emptiness. If you are not really familiar with that kind of idea and not meditating every day, then it's really we will not have enough power to go back to see that kind of thing, think the emptiness, because the stress is very heavily comes. That's overcomes for us. Then all our wisdom and analytical mind will lose. We don't have an energy to think that emptiness because the stress overcomes. But the simple things, like a small address, it can be, once we have energy to think, it will a lot of help. Right? So, and then of course we can have make it more powerful. Even like a heavy stress or anxiety comes, even with that at that moment, we can think back to emptiness. That's possible that we can make it, but it's not naturally comes, and it's not really practice every day. Again, that it will really disturb us to think on emptiness, on all this idea, what good idea which we have it to overcome by suffering. All those ideas not useful at the moment, not helpful at the moment, because suffering is overcome. That also possible. You understand, right? Yeah, the last part I'm keep repeating, but it is important. So now see how Chandrabhadra answering or giving advice for his friend Shriman, right? It's after several days. Chopper, can you read? I'm not going to explain a lot of this. Just read one per read, and you understand, right?
After several days passed, his friend, the skilled magician, came by. I haven't seen you for many years. I felt sad about this, so I came to see you today. Where did you go? He asked. Once Sriman had recounted the past.
Sorry, many years means actually not many years. Few days later he came, but he has that kind of thought. Many years he happening something in his life, right? Therefore he just testing him. Many years we not see it. Yeah.
Once Sriman had recounted the past events, the skilled magician replied, all phenomena are tricks of illusion. Nothing is substantially real. You never saw your 3 children and their mother. So how could there have been even physical contact? You have never left with even a single step. So how could you have reached a far-off land? Not even a brief moment has passed. So how could you have suffered for many years? The suffering of samsara is just like that. Though seemingly real, it is just like your experience.
Thank you. So it's a never sees the children's, never sees the wife. Means not you do not see real there. It means not that you do not have an appearance to have a children's and in your thoughts, you the imagination or appearance. It's not saying you do not have an appearance of having children and a wife. But you never sees children, you never sees the wife. Means not real there. You never sees the real wife. You never sees the real children's, truly children's. But real means again, we can touch it, that children's, right? The real means again, it's not really solidly there. That's the real means, right? So you never see even our children now. You can say that I do not see my children in truly existence. I do not see my children are real there. Because children's, what we call children's, whatever we name, whatever we labeling human or girl or boy or trans, whatever we say, those are actually go back to think with the beginning, the baseless, then continuous thing, and again training into the baseless, continuous thing, then actually not real there. This is how we need to see it. That's the saying here. You not see truly existent wife and truly existent children. It's all your appearance, right? That's how you lose and how you suffer. All this also your appearance. But I remember one time Rinpoche is teaching on Virginia, and when we talk about that, and then one person, he asked questions. I caught many times I repeat here. So he asked questions, say, if the tigers comes in front of me, I should see as a fake, I should see as a dream, or I should run? That's a good question, right? So, because as our delusion is strong, seeing as truly existence, we should run. But I don't know you can accept or not. Who sees emptiness? I don't have an example today, or you show me one guys. I don't have those kind of example today. But in our historically, who sees emptiness directly, they don't have to run from tiger. Sometimes our deities riding on tigers, riding on lion, that you can see that. So this is the totally different idea way beyond in our normal thoughts, right? So, but just telling you it's there, it's many of them accepting that, but you don't have to accept it, but it's good to think, right? So when you see the reality, it's really happening like this, yeah. So, because, okay. One example I can give you to understand that part is, let's say that our body is built up by many cells, right? And then through by meditation, we can change all these cells, could be turned into the light through by meditation and thoughts. And there are many books there who talks about how powerful mind, the power of the mind, and everything driven by mind. You know, there's some. It's not there. This book, I don't remember the exactly name of the book. You know, this the books from talks about economic. Again, talking about the power of mind, and then also the real life. When they talk about the power of mind, they think if you think you can do it, you can do it. If you think you cannot do it, you cannot do it. They are saying it, right? So if you think you can do it, you can do it means not really something set it up, the cause and condition there that you can do it. If you have the belief and like a strong faith, sometimes it's happening which beyond descriptions. So we cannot describe it. It's happening in the real life. And then I think many issues in the books and newsletter. So those are, you can take example to see when you see the real emptiness directly, it could be possible to not need to run from tiger and all. Then, as you mentioned, we can go through by the wall. It's not really obstructed. As our body cells can change the light, maybe not necessarily obstructed. You know, it's obstructed us to until we cease, like a solid. Okay, I'm not going to talk that much about that. It's kind of like beyond our thought, right? So, okay, Chapel, please, could you continue? Read next one.
Though you have wandered long for eons, this wandering is like the years that you have felt. Aging is like the white hair on your head. Youth is like the death of your illusory children. Enemies are like that hostile river. Your friends and family are like the old woman. Your homeland is like that desolate island. Sunrise and sunset are like your arrival there. They are like this, grasped as real when they are not. Do not forsake inquiry, householder Sriman. This ultimate mode of being, which is primordially empty, understand it through hearing your wife's words. Understand it through your reflections on seeing your yarn. Understand it through deep meditation.
So, and next few lines are again talking the same. There's every the place, person, things are they're actually not truly existence. Those are like illusions. Just it's not really there as appear to us. Most of our appearance to cause us to have suffering. You know, this is easily understand that PTSD that you talk, right? Actually, the PTSD is when I think or examining on it, I see is actually the memory or recollections what happening in like a long time ago. The recollection is there only. The recollections cause you to have fear or anxiety and so on and so on. What other than that? Do you see any other cause, like a cause to have PTSD? I see it's only recollections. They're memories. What else there?
Trauma.
Sorry?
It's the trauma of the memories.
Yeah, the memory.
Emotionally
It's
affected.
memories, right?
Memory.
It's just memory.
Just memory.
Is there any physic there to brings you cells and DNA can because you have PTSD? Any forms can do that? So far, what I see is just memory,
Just memory.
right? And then memory means one part of the mind, which we can change it. If you're not willing for change, that remaining there. If you think I cannot change, then I cannot change it. If you think I can change it, you can change it. So therefore, it's just memory, right? It's just mind. And then it's just appear to us to real. That's the having fear. Even it's like 10 years, 20 years ago, what happening? It's just gone. It's past. No more exist. But still you have a fear. Still you have an anxiety because of memory. That memory is, yes, it's driven by actual like what happening in the lifetime, but you are holding that memory continuously. You never try to reduce that memory. That's what I see, right? So therefore, it's really difficult to accept. To me, it's kind of illness. So based on my life too, that in my life, many difficulty there when I was young. We faced many difficulty. We went through by many difficulty. I should have a PTSD then. I should have a more fear and anxiety right now. But my mind is functioning well right now. And then I remember, yes, what happening when I was young, but it's not really affect to me to have fear or anger or anxiety. It's not happening to me. So therefore, if you change that memory, that's not illness. That's what I think. This is my perspective. Please go ahead.
I'm just wondering, how long were you into that?
I born in India.
Oh, you were born.
I born in India.
For some reason,
Yeah, my parents
I
are from
didn't know.
Tibet. Yeah.
I'm just being nosy.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But with that though, could you not say the same thing about knowledge? Because knowledge is just memory. So I'm just trying to
Yes.
And to me, knowledge is a foundation that you build upon.
Uh-huh.
So if I take your same train of thought, is knowledge then an illusion too?
Actually, I should say knowledge is illusion too, but it's different than like I will not say only memory. The knowledge is present, but the memory is present, but things are not present. What happening in a long time ago, right? But knowledge, what I knows, is still present. Therefore, it's not just memory. We call it wisdom.
Yes.
But a part of, we're talking illusion, yes, it is part of illusion. It's not really truly there because we were not found what is exactly this wisdom,
But there's a lot of knowledge that you forget because it's not present.
We are forgetting is not present, yes.
Okay.
Which we forget is not present. That's true.
Okay, so I missed the distinction. So try to.
Okay. Yeah, this is different than what we recollecting what happened a long time ago. But yes, our knowledge we learn from long time when it's like an ABCD. We learn when we were young. But right now, my wisdom is not just memory. It's my wisdom is still catching up that, and I'm knowing that ABCD is present, and ABCD is presently there, as I knows. But what happening? The problem is not presently there as I recollect it. It's two different. Yeah. Yeah.
And the thoughts that are traumatic are the ones that you're saying, those are just memory.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I always try to struggle with every day is like, if it's just memory, then it doesn't affect my life right now.
Yeah, shouldn't be affected. Yeah.
I really don't focus on the past.
Yeah.
And that takes effort to do that.
Very true.
Catching yourself all the time.
True. Yeah. So therefore, the point I'm saying, the appearance, how deluded us, the appearance, how cause us to have more suffering, right? So see this Shriman has a lot of problem. All this just appearance. It's not real happens, right? All this here appearance and he have a lot of suffering on it. So same as dream, it appear us like we are almost falling from like a high cliff of the mountains, and then scare and soiling in our body. All this happening, it's just appeared. But we can take this example in real life. It's a little bit different than dream, but still part of dream. It just appears, and that appears. Oh yeah. Is different than dream, but if you fall on this cliff, you will die. But in dream, you will not die, right? But the emotionally same, but the fact that it's a little bit different. But how you seize that cliff or dying things, the truly or independently there, that's part is it's wrong. That's if you do not see that part like it truly or independently there, at least even we dying not really cause us like a heavily suffering at the moment. Because that's knowing what is the reality of the death, what is the reality of the cliff, and so on, so on. The bottom line, again, I'm repeating one time. So bottom line, I'm saying whatever appears us is not necessary, it's real. But so many things we easily understand why it's not real. We just made it up as a PTSD, right? We just made it up and we just kept it at that. It's not real there. That part is we understand, right? So, and then part of talking about the reality of all the existing things, the emptiness, that's difficult to understand. To seeing how it's appear is not real there. Right? So because I can touch here and I can touch here, I can use it, it's functioning exactly. So that's kind of makes us to, it's real there, but it's not real there. So two kind of things, right? Appears, it's not real there because our mind made it up. So many things our mind made it up. Our mind just created, not real there. But something is there, but as not truly there as we see it. There are two kind of appearance. One part we easily understand is appear to us but not real. But one part is difficult to understand is appear to us to not real there. It's not to be a little bit effort for understand that, the way to understand emptiness. Right? So therefore, the Buddha said one of his topic, one of his teaching saying, it's just mine. Everything is just mine. Right? As Chittamatra. Everything is just mine. He said that. We can learn a lot from there. So just everything's mine. Right? So, but we will found so many which is not really mine, is physically there. But also another side, we will see so many things. It's just part of our mind. It's just we just made it up. So if you differentiate it instead of mixing everything, differentiated, okay, that part I understand, that part I understand, but that part is not understand. If you can make differentiated, then you will be more clear, understand the reality of this. So otherwise, while I'm talking here, in your mind, have some kind of subject there is not exactly happening what is there. And you found one example, it's not exactly matching with what we talked. And that example might be disturb you to see another, you can see the as, yes, those are, yes, I understand. Just mind, just illusion, just dream, and not real. It's just my mind made it up. So many things that we can understand. But one example will not disturb you to see other things, which we can easily understand. You follow me what I'm saying? Correcting my English. Right?
It's good.
Yeah. So therefore, not let disturb to me to see what easy things we can understand. Just mind everything's right. So that's how we need to separate it.
So based on your example, so in that case, then, for example, PTSD you mentioned, and based on Sriman's example that we're talking about, is the PTSD arising in certain people? If the same incident happens in for two people, one person reacts much worse than the other. is that reason self-grasping? Or is it grasping only at that traumatic situation that that person reacts differently?
It's both. The self-grasping is always fundamentally there. Everything suffering what be happening in our life based on self-grasping. And then additionally, we have a different memory and different recollections. So grasping or clinging on that, or that could be, yeah. So both are cause us to have suffering. Yeah.
I just wanted to say one thing since we were talking about PTSD. A few years ago, I read one blog post about like a traumatic event that happened to some person. And she had kind of a different perspective than what I've seen in like, I don't know, kind of like conventional type of ideas about PTSD, etc. And she talked about like owning your trauma rather than like the trauma owning you, and thinking like, it's actually good that this thing happened to me. It's actually beneficial in like this way and that way. I'm able to help others. It's changed my, perspective on these types of situations. I have some unique kind of experience that I can use for, this and that. And I just thought that that kind of idea of like most people with PTSD, it's like it controls them. But this person's perspective was like, it's something that I can, yeah, like I've said, it's something good that's actually happened to me that I can use. And I think that like the Buddhist perspective on it, with emptiness and all of these things, and I think that this is also complementary. It empower that perspective even more. So even if you don't have that exact idea of like either from like the mind only or from like these things are like appearances or they're illusion, like if you can kind of reverse it and like own your trauma, I think that can be really powerful.
Yeah. So I think everything is beginning from shock, right? So when we have a strong shock, then it's remaining in our mind. That's recollecting continuously run with us, right? So, but how can clear that shock? So understanding the reality of the nature of everything's like human beings, nature of the places where we live, nature of the all these four seasons, everything. We understand the reality, then we will see, oh, it's happening. What should happening, right? It's happening. It's naturally there. It shouldn't be shocked. Once we see that, then it could be change or shocking things. It could be change that when shocking things, then maybe it might help us to not hold that recollections to cause you suffering again and again, right? So, and then as our children's, in monastery, way beginning, it's telling everything that from beginning from death impermanence, right? You're going to die no matter whatever. And then this place is like a very contaminations. Our body is contaminations, and how is contamination? So on, so on, so on. That talks a lot to us when we're young. Then everything happening in front of us, it's not really surprise and shocking things. That's maybe helpful. Maybe I guess we will not have strong recollection or not holding this because we accept it as what happening it. That might be helpful, right? So this is yes, I think begin from shocking things. And then here, not learning that much. As a materialistic country, have too much focusing on materialistic and too much relying on the materialistic and not really focusing on what mind can do it. So that's the point. A lot of brings us shock and problem in our. That's my perspective. I thought it. Yeah. Okay. So the final it says drum accept the. Those all lines are similarly saying it's like a house. Like a important. I think yeah, drum. This is none more wondrous than any enemy. Okay, where we stopped it?
We stopped where it said understand it through deep meditation. All places such as Shavasti, etc.
Oh, okay. So and then this next few long line, I'm not going to read. The final one is saying, drum. The last two line, yeah. Drum, the object of attachment and aversions are also like this. So drum, also like this means not truly existing. It's like illusions. So drum, continually recognize all things as being the same. Everything's. Okay. See how much we understand today. So I'm going to stop here unless you have a question. And next Sunday, I will be not here, but I will keep this subject continuously. Maybe one or two more class might be goes with it. So what we not finish is to when we have a individual problem, to taking the practice of taking and giving practice, and then also the third point is following the what we need to really engage in, not what we need to abandon in our daily life in order to having more happiness or free from suffering. That two subject we left it at the 2 point, yeah. So I will be continuous, but next Sunday maybe not necessarily get in this because Anila will talk it, and she might be I don't know what type of subject might talk, but all the same, this how to overcome difficulty in daily life will be keep same as based on that we talk. So okay, and then follow Sunday I will be here longest then. So this month a lot of up and down rare. I will not. Yeah, I have to go one more time. Yes, thank you. Yeah, do you have any question online or? So actually, emptiness part we do talking is you hear it. That's important. Okay, so let me see how that Shiriman overcome by this all doubt. He overcome by doubt by hear first time. Then another he more clear the doubt because he sees he's explaining yearning, and he continues think after Chandapatra comes. Then he completely overcome by all this doubt. Okay, this really illusions now. I do not have any suffering. Whatever is just appeared. So that's part. The understand. What's it? Three things. Understand. Yes, understand it through hearings. Your wife words. Why first say? No, I'm just cleaning here, and you're spilling the urine.
Spinning the yarn.
The yarn, and then you're sitting there. So that's what makes him to think. He at the beginning he's have 100% sure that he have a problem and he has a lot of suffering. Many this year that he have that 100% that he confirmed that he accepted, right? And after he hear that word from the wife pointed, then he changed a little bit. Now his doubt get more reduced, right? Then actually the wife says, go and see that your still strings are there, what you own. So he went to see that and he contemplating, yes, actual there. Then his doubt is more clear now. And after Chandapatra comes, he says, understand through deep meditation means analyze it. So after Chandapatra comes, they talk a lot. And then finally he said, oh yeah, everything is illusions now. Whatever appeared to me. So what you have the strong thought beginning, at the end, completely gone. That's thought. The same time, all this suffering is gone. He will no more have a PTSD now. Right? So, okay. This is how we need to build. You hear and contemplating. You have to think will be the important. Just hearing is, if you not analyze or you not think, you will not find any taste of emptiness, right? If you think more, then you will have more taste. And then little test will be brings you more test. Taste. Oh yeah. Okay. So, okay. Thank you then. Oh,